So till now we have covered constitutional body like Election Commission, UPSC and SPSC. So in today's video we are going to understand regarding what Finance Commission of India is under Indian Constitution and what are the exact texts that has been written in Indian polity. So we're going to understand every sentence whatever is written in Indian polity itself. So let's move into the very book. Let's first read it and I'll try to understand the lines and what they are trying to convey to the audience. Article 280 of the Constitution of India provides for a Finance Commission as a quasi-judicial body. So, Finance Commission is a quasi-judicial body, and the Constitution itself has talked about that there has to be a Finance Commission. So, they got their very relevance or very shelter under the Indian Constitution itself under Article 280, and it's a quasi-judicial body. It is constituted by the President of India every 5th year or at such earlier time as he considers necessary, and it will be for 5 years. And by whom? By the President. So this is the basic regarding on which article we will get to see regarding Finance Commission and what is the rule regarding Finance Commission of President. What is the role of President under Finance Commission? So let us understand the very composition of Finance Commission. The Finance Commission consists of a chairman and 4 other members to be appointed by the President. One would be chairman and other 4% and that would be appointed by the President. So in our previous video, just like UPSC and SPSC, so we have seen that President has kind of a responsibility or power regarding the appointment and removal procedure. Same will be applicable to Finance Commission only. They hold office for such period as specified by the President in his order. So what is given earlier, the specific period has been given, but regarding Finance Commission, it is given up to the President and he will decide for what term they will be appointed. They are eligible for reappointment. So this is kind of a differences that we get to see regarding UPSC and SPSC. In previous video, in the other constitutional body, there were no such procedure for reappointment. But in Finance Commission, a person who have already served for a term, they can also be reappointed for that specific post. So this is the differences between the other constitutional body and also the Finance Commission. The Constitution authorizes the Parliament to determine the qualification of members of the Commission and the manner in which they should be selected. So, Indian Constitution has only talked about that there should be Finance Commission. That's it. Beyond that, they haven't given any kind of procedure or guidelines regarding what should be the members, what should be their qualification, what should be their tenure. So, all this stuff they have been given to the parliament only. It is up to parliament that they will be deciding the qualification of members and the manner in which they should be selected. So it's up to parliament how they will gonna give guidelines regarding the Finance Commission. The Parliament has specified the qualification of the chairman and member of the commission. So the basically the role is vested upon the Parliament only. So the Parliament has cited certain criteria on what basis the member should be appointed for Finance Commission, and they are: the chairman should be a person having experience in public affairs, and the 4 other members should be selected from among the following. So the chairman should be a person having experience in public affairs. So this word is not what we are referring to, that husband and wife having affair outside their marriage. So basically why I am referring it here. So when we hear some particular word, we directly link to it with the negative meaning, including me. So that is not what is meant here. Okay, here public affair means a person who is quite aware of the happening in the society. So only for such people who is quite aware of the happening, they can be appointed for the chairman post only. And then for the other 4 members, they have other qualification, that is a judge of high court or one qualified to be appointed as the one. So for member, they have to be a judge of high court or any person who has the capability to become a judge of the high court. A person who has specialized knowledge of finance and accounts of the government. For example, CA, chartered accountant, because they have kind of a knowledge regarding finance and they can be appointed for the post of the member. A person who has wide experience in financial matters in administration. Another person who has wide experience in just matters. They can also be a part of this commission or body. A person who has special knowledge of economics, for example, professor or PhD holder, or any such person who has a wide knowledge regarding economics, they can be appointed for such posts. So this is all about the composition and the basic definition of finance commission. So let's move into the functions of finance commission. The finance commission is required to make recommendation to the president of India on the following matters. So whom they will be recommending all the advices to the president only, and they are their functions which will be understanding one by one. The distribution of the net proceeds of tax to be shared between the center and the state, and the allocation between the state of the respective shares of such proceeds. So now the question is, if they have, for example, 100 rupees net proceeds of tax, and they have to divide it between the center and the state. So on what basis, on what guideline, on what principle these 100 rupees should be divided, that is the function of finance commission. Finance commission will be providing advices on what basis, on what ground they should be divided among the center and the state. The principle that should given to grants in aid the states by the center, for example, out of the consolidated fund of India. And also, if the center needs to grant some funds to the state, that is also duty of the finance commission to say on what basis the grants should be given to the particular states. The measures needed to augment the consolidated fund of a state to supplement the resources of the panchayat and municipalities in the states on the basis of recommendation made by the state finance commission. So finance commission is all about you know that how the tax or how the fund would be divided between the center and the state. So just like that, every state has their finance commission, as it says here. The bigger needed to be augment consolidated fund of a state to supplement the resources of panchayat and municipality in the state on the basis of recommendation made by the State Finance Commission. State Finance Commission. So the State Finance Commission will be coming up with all kind of reports or advices that needs to be added in order to make the state more developed in nature. So they will be giving recommendation to the Finance Commission that we want 100 rupees for uh, you know uh, building a new bridge. We want 100 rupees to make good schools in our state. So for such that they can also offer their advices or ask for that this is the reason, and for that we want grants, we want certain amount from the center. Any other matter referred to it by the president in the interest of sound finance. So this is another functions that falls under finance commission. Till 1960, the Commission also suggested the grants given to the state of Assam, Bihar, Odisha, and West Bengal in lieu of assignment of any share of the net proceeds in each share of export duty on the jute and products. These grants were to be given for a temporary period of 10 years from the commencement of the constitution. So this is basically regarding the historical period. So it is about 1960. So if we selling something out in outer place, for example outside the India, that means we are calling money for our country. For example, if we are selling tea outside and in return we are getting money, so that is beneficial because money is coming, it's not going. So for that reason, in such period, certain grants were given to this particular states, and it was also said that that is temporary. It is not something that the center has made a promise upon and will be continuing for the rest of the year. For that specific period only, back in the 1960, this thing has happened. The commission submits its report to the president. So finance commission submits their report to the president by writing down what should be the guidelines, principle on what basis the grants and the net profit should be divided between center and the state. And He lays it before both of the House of Parliament along with an explanatory memorandum as to the action taken on its recommendation. So on before whom they will be presented before the House, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the recommendation will be placed before the House and also with an explanatory memorandum that whatever Finance Commission have suggested, whether we have accepted it or not. If we have accepted it, for what reason? If we haven't accepted it, that is also for what reason. So that is why it has been written as explanatory memorandum. It's not only memorandum, but it has to be of explanatory nature. All the reasons should be written very clearly, which to be presented before the parliament or board of the house by the president. Advisory role. So till now we have understood what finance commission is. Now we will understand what is the nature of finance commission. As in my other video I have said that a person have different kind of nature. He can be shy, introvert, extrovert. So regarding this, finance commission has also a specific nature of their own. And what kind of nature? That is advisory nature, because whatever they'll be recommending, whatever they'll be advising, that would be uh, what do I say, advisory nature. They are not the government is not bound to listen whatever finance commission is saying, or it's not compulsory. They can listen, they may not be listened. It must be clarified here that the recommendation made by the finance commission are only of advisory nature and hence not binding on the government. As it is advisory nature, so the government may accept it, may not. So if I feel like I want to accept it, I will. Maybe, I mean the government, if they feel like I don't want to accept it, so they may not, because it is not binding. It is up to the Union government to implement its recommendation on granting money to the state. So it is up to the government only whether they want to give the money to the states or not. To put it other words, it is nowhere laid down in the constitution. The recommendation of the commission shall be binding upon the government of India, or that it would give rise to a legal right in favor of the beneficiary state to receive the money recommended to be offered to them by the commission. So Indian constitution has only talked about there should be a finance commission. Other than that, there is nothing mention whether their recommendation should be binding, how many members should be there. So all the kind of necessary guidelines is given to the parliament or the president only. Therefore, it is not binding. Whatever advices the finance commission is proposing to the government or the parliament, it's not of binding nature. If they want to, they may grant it to the state. If they don't feel like, they may not grant those money to the states. As rightly observed by Dr. P.V. Rajamandir, the chairman of the Fourth Finance Commission, since the Finance Commission is a constitutional body expected to be quasi-judicial, its recommendation should not be turned down by the government of India unless there are very compelling reasons. So now, this is the remark given by Dr. P.V. Rajamandir, the chairman of the Fourth Finance Commission. So when we prepare a note on finance commission, for example, but if we can quote certain remarks from certain famous figures, there are possibility we may get good marks or good dates for that specific answer. So always try to add certain quotes given by famous figures. So now let's understand what Dr. P.B. Rajamandir said, which was the chairman of the Fourth Finance Commission. So for him, he said that Finance Commission got its power from the Indian Constitution itself. And if its advices not binding or the government can dismiss it, at any point, so what's the point of having their relevance? So he says that its recommendation should not be turned down by the government of India unless there are very compelling reasons. He said that if the government is denying certain recommendation, there should be some very solid reason or some reason which can be accepted. It shouldn't be something very casual or something which cannot be accepted. For example, if there's a civil war or if there's a threat to the country, on that basis the government can say that for this national security we want money in our fund. At this point we cannot give the amount to the states because we may need it for our future safety. That is a valid reason. For that, you know, they can deny the recommendation given by the finance commission. And another scenario, when the government state that we don't want to give it to the state because we are not in good terms with certain states, for example Assam, UP, Madhya Pradesh, and for that reason only, for our personal grudge only, we are not giving the fund to this particular state. That cannot be happen because that is not a valid reason. So there has to be a valid reason which basis you were denying the recommendation given by the finance commission. So this is what exactly Dr. PB Rajamandar, the chairman of the fourth Finance Commission stated. The Constitution of India advises the Finance Commission as the balancing wheel of fiscal federalism in India. So this particular sentence is not given on the Indian Constitution. By reading all such stuff, we have interpreted it, we have assumed it that Finance Commission is there to balance the balance between both center and state. So the center cannot take all the grants within himself, but he has to give it to the states for their development. However, till 2014, its role in the center-state fiscal relation was undermined by the as well Planning Commission, a non-constitutional and a non-statutory body. So, Planning Commission is also an important concept that comes many times in prelims on such long question also. Planning Commission is a body that is made by certain act or certain uh, what do I say, by the government. It does not have its relevant under the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution only talks about Finance Commission. Apart from that, Indian Constitution doesn't recognize any other thing. So that's because we have this Planning Commission. Their power shouldn't be similar with the Finance Commission because Finance Commission is getting their powers straightly from the Constitution of India only. So this is something which is made out of a particular body. Now let's move into the Dr. PB Rajamandar. Same this person, the chairman of the Fourth Finance Commission, highlighted the overlapping of function responsibilities between the Finance Commission as well Planning Commission and Federal Fiscal Transfer. So he has highlighted the function and responsibilities between these two bodies. In 2015, the Planning Commission was replaced by a new body called Niti Aayog. So earlier it was named as Finance Planning Commission. Later the name was replaced by, in the year of 2015, Niti Aayog. So simply it says that earlier a person name was what I say Rini, which later it turns into something called arena or something. So basically the name was changed. The functions, all kind of thing was stated as it is. Only the name has been changed in the year of 2015 and it has made as NITI Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. Finance Commission appointed for. So this is the very list that we have. How many Finance Commission we have till year? What were their chairman and the year? So the first Finance Commission we have, that is the chairman was K.C. Newgi, appointed in 1951, submitted report in 1952, period of implementation of report is 1952 and 57. Now let's move into the other, that is second chairperson K. Santhanam, 1956, 1957, submitted report or served this period for 1957 to 62. For third we have A.K. Chanda, 1960, 1961. 1962, 66. So it is basically a list for how many finance commission we have, what are they, what were the chairpersons, and what are the exact date. So now let us understood what are the articles in the Indian Constitution which talk explicitly about finance commission. That is Article 280. It talks about what finance commission is. Then we have Article 281, recommendation of the Finance Commission. It is also mentioned under Article 281. So regarding Finance Commission, we only need to remember two articles, that is 280 and 281. So that's all about what Finance Commission is, which is a constitutional body who got its power by the Constitution of India itself. So if you found this video valuable and worth watching, please do like, share and subscribe, and do let me know in the comment section in what topic you want me to give a explanatory lecture. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video.